Hello YouTube, you're watching Drone Dude, and today we're going to discuss something a little bit more controversial, a little bit different, and that is the act of spying on someone with a drone. Now, lately in the news, since kind of the introduction of commercially available drones, there have been numerous incidents seen on TV and on the internet published about the idea and the use of drones like this one right here for spying on people in their homes and on their private property. And so what I've done is create a series of clips put together to try to determine if this technology is actually feasible for spying on somebody. So let's begin. So let's go ahead and discuss the kind of equipment I'll be using today. First off, I have mounted a Lumix camera, just standard consumer camera, in my room to take video and audio of a aircraft, which will be this one right here, this drone that I'll be using, outside of the window to try to spy on my father, who will be inside. And then I will have different lighting increments in my room to test different amounts of light coming from my room and how easy it is to spy on somebody with this drone. And then I also will attempt to do different distances from the window of which the drone will be spying through. And then we will use a 100 to 400 millimeter Canon lens mounted on a Canon 70 camera. Now this can send up to give you a 12.8 multiplied zoom, and I will use the 12.8 multiplied zoom throughout the entire video while using this camera, and I will label this on the video. Now what we're using right here is the latest in drone technology from DJI, the world's leader in aerial technology in terms of sales. This is the DJI Inspire 1, argued to be one of the best consumer drones that on the market today for cinematography and spying. I guess we'll test that out in just a couple minutes. So let's begin with showing the DJI Inspire 1's day footage. Now I shot this video in 1080p at 60 frames a second with the DJI Inspire 1. And the reason for this quality is this is kind of the average consumer drone quality in terms of camera quality at this point in time. This does have 4K capabilities and other drones do have that capability. However, the majority of drones sold now do not, and so as a control we'll be shooting in 1080p at 60 frames a second. So let's go ahead and begin with the daytime shots. So I have a little map here taken from the DJI Phantom of the different locations I'll be shooting. This first arrow is about 5 feet away from the second story window. The second arrow is about 75 feet away from the house. The third arrow is about 150 feet away, and the fourth arrow is around 250 feet away. So we're going to go ahead and begin with our first location, which is roughly 3 to 5 feet away from the window, and I'm standing on the deck to get this shot. And as you can see, there's really not much to see inside of the house. You can barely make out the tripod of the camera mounted inside, and you can barely see my dad walk up to the window. Now this is from 75 feet away from the house, and as you can see, you really can't see anything. We're going to zoom out, and we are now 150 feet away. I find no reason to go to 300 feet because you can see absolutely nothing of the house. So now you're looking at how close I actually have to be to the house to safely operate the DJI Inspire. Very important that I do this line of sight, because if I were to do this from a far away location, I would lose depth perception and likely crash into the house. So then we wanted to try to do a test of noise levels at different distances with the DJI Inspire. And so we're going to start out by the house here at the 3 to 5 foot mark. And this is what somebody would hear in their house with the door or the window open. Now we're approximately 75 feet away, and as you can hear, it's very silent in the video. However, it is quite a bit louder in person. And then once we move on even farther to 150 feet, it's going to sound maybe like your neighbor's lawnmower is running. So first off, we have the Canon at 75 feet away from the window, and as you can see, the image is really clear. However, you cannot see into the room very well. And so now we're going to move to the 150-foot mark. Sorry for the shaky camera, but as you can see, it's still pretty clear. A lot less glare from the window, and now we're at 250 feet. Still less glare from the window with the screen on it. The image is still pretty good, but the subject is standing quite close to the window. Alright, now that we've reviewed the daytime shots with the DJI Inspire 1 and the Canon 7D, we're going to go ahead and move on to nighttime shots with the DJI Inspire 1, and then I will flash up the Canon 7D images from the different distances away from the house. So now we're looking at the 3 to 5 foot distance at night, and as you can see, the image is actually quite clear. We can see what's going on inside quite well from the DJI. And so now this is at mid-light in the room, about 50% on the light, and then we're going to just above the dimmest setting on the light. And as you can see, there was not much to see. This is from a 75 feet away at full light. And as you can see, still pretty clear, and we digitally zoom that, and we can still see relatively what's going on inside. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at, this is mid-light, so a little bit darker, and this is minimal lighting in the room. You can't see anything. And so now here we are at 150 feet away at full brightness in the room. Still see what's going on sort of, but not really. Now we're down to mid-light in the room. A little bit darker, and now we are minimal, and there's still not much to see. So now we have the view from inside of the house with full brightness on the lights, and as you can see, the DJI Inspire is very visible. I don't know how you would miss that, and now in a moment we're going to see it with the lights off, and at this point this would be extremely visible in the night time. And now back to 75 feet away with the lights on in the room, and as you can see, still very visible, and the LEDs are quite bright, and with the lights off they are even brighter looking through the window. And so now we're going to look at 150 feet away. Still the lights are very bright outside, and looking at them in the dark, the camera has trouble focusing on them, but they are still visible. So just another reminder of how close I have to be to the house itself to see the Inspire and make sure it's not going to hit anything. This is just outside the window at nighttime with the Inspire floating outside of the window. Now as you can see here, we are roughly 75 feet away from the window with the Canon camera, and one observation you'll make right off the bat is the quality is superior and far more zoomed in than the Inspire at night. Facial features can be made out, and it's kind of silhouetted against the light there. So now we are at 150 feet away with the Canon 400mm lens, and we can see the entire room in the shot, everything that's in the room, and obviously we can change the location of the camera slightly to get different corners of the room if we wanted to. But keep in mind, we're still at 150 feet, and now we are 300 feet or 250 feet away, and still have a spectacular image, and we are virtually undetectable to anyone. So you may think, well, okay, obviously the Canon camera is going to be better in terms of quality, and this is obviously true. It's a much bigger lens and a bigger camera platform. However, you may think that the advantage to drones is that you can be anywhere and spy on anyone. And for some part of that, that is true. However, to be able to get as close to the house for these shots that I got, I had to literally be standing underneath of the DJI Inspire while it was hovering at least 3 to 5 feet away from the window. Now, you would not be able to safely fly the DJI Inspire 1 from a faraway location up to the house that close at night, especially, without the high chance and high risk of crashing. And the reason for that is you don't have any peripherals. The camera sensor on the DJI Inspire is not strong enough to pick up external light from the moon or stars, however. And this lens that I have, the 400mm, with the 12 zoom, as you saw, was very good from all of the various distances. Now, another thing to consider is the drone at night. Let's say, okay, you are able to stand right under it and spy on the person, maybe not on the 2nd floor, maybe on the 6th floor of a building. However, listen to the audio and look at the LED lights that are shining really brightly outside of your window and tell me if you wouldn't notice that. Now, I can stand 100 yards away with a 400mm lens on a camera that is comparably priced to this unit right here and get better video and be completely silent. I could be dressed in all blacks, I could be dressed in a ghillie suit and still get the same quality and actually better quality video from 100 yards away rather than being 5 feet away. Now it's funny, I was actually flying my DJI Phantom 3 this morning and I had a middle-aged woman come up to me and I showed her the video feed and everything, and her remark was, well, I guess I won't be sitting naked in my backyard anymore. And so I thought that was kind of funny, but it's also kind of gave me the inspiration to do this next test, which is an outdoor test with noise level and distance with the Canon camera and the DJI Inspire. As you will see in the test, my dad will be sitting on the porch, probably drinking coffee or texting on his phone. And I will have the DJI Inspire at 100 feet at the different intervals of distance away and different heights, and I will label those on the video. And then I will take the Canon camera and I will be in hidden locations, so maybe not direct line to the person I am spying on. And then we're going to also test the noise level. Obviously there will be no noise level, and then also the practicality. So for the outside shots, we're starting at 300 feet away with the Inspire, and we're looking at the deck down there. My dad will be sitting down there. As you can see, you can't really see much. Now we are 150 feet away, and it becomes a little bit more visible. Still can't really see much, and we're also 100 feet up. Now this is digitally zoomed in, and still you can see movement but not much. And now we are 75 feet away, almost directly over top, looking down, and we can see movement. However, we are still pretty close, and now we are directly over top. The Inspire would be very visible and very loud at this point when hovering 100 feet over top of the subject that you are trying to film. We are now at 45 feet above the ground, and the Inspire will be quite loud, and we'll see that in a moment. And we are now at 20 feet above the ground, very visible to the person sitting there and very loud as well. So we are, this is from the GoPro, and we are now at 150 feet away. You can barely make out the Inspire at the top of the screen, and we are now 75 feet away at 100 feet. Still not extremely visible, but you can definitely hear it at this point. And we are now directly over top, 100 feet up, and very noisy. This would be highly visible, and now we're going to move to 45 feet above the ground, very visible, very loud, and then we are moving to 20 feet above the ground, and same case. So you can see here the Canon camera taking video at 300 feet away of my dad on the porch, and we are now moving to 150 feet away. Dad's still drinking coffee on the porch, and we are now in a hidden location at 75 feet away, getting away with our spying. So what have we concluded from this video? Well, we've done extensive testing with the DJI Inspire, we've done extensive testing with the Canon camera, and now one thing you gotta keep in mind right now is this DJI Inspire with one remote, which gives you all the capabilities for spying you'd ever need. This is an advanced platform for filming. This will cost you $2,900 USD, and the Canon 7D with the 100 to 400 millimeter lens is comparably priced in the same price range. Prices vary from where you buy the Canon camera from. So, should you really be concerned about a buzzing, flying platform spying on you over top of a conventional camera that somebody can set up far away and still have the same capabilities that a flying camera has up close? And still, you know, you might argue that you can fly the Inspire or whatever drone you're using from anywhere and spy on somebody, but it's still not true. Even if you're flying in the day and you're flying in a hidden location with FPV and you get as close to the window as I did in the video, there's still not much to see through the window. Now, you can still get pretty close to a person sitting outside sunbathing or what have you, but the truth is that they're going to hear you if you have a platform that is this size that has a nice video camera on it. Now, is that to say that the technology won't get advanced? Drones will get quieter, they'll get more efficient, they'll have better cameras. And it's kind of open whether this will become a bigger issue in the future. But as of now, to actually properly spy on somebody with a drone of sorts, you would have to have a large zoom lens mounted on a large flying platform. That would be equivalent to a DJI S1000 octocopter, or even larger, to be able to carry a large camera. And even at that point, you'd be making so much more noise than one of these will trying to spy on somebody. And those also are tens of thousands of dollars in equipment. This is a military-grade spotting scope that is capable of 40 times zoom, and what one would use for proper spying on someone. Okay guys, so you've seen the evidence, and I hope you've learned from this video that drones at this point in time are not a huge threat to privacy. You can hear them, you can see them, they are noisy, they are bright, they are loud, and you know, this may not be true in the future, but right now, the stories that are originating from drones spying on people are irrational. Because I can take a Canon lens or any camera, nice rig camera for the same price point, set up anywhere I would like, and get extremely close-in shots to what's going on. Now, the truth is I can't be anywhere while getting the shots. Like with a drone like this, you can fly anywhere you would like. However, if you actually want to get close-in shots and not be recognized by people, it's going to be nearly impossible. Because the noise level is too high when you are close in, and when you're too far out, you're not going to have good quality video. Rather than fearing this new technology, why don't we appreciate the ability that this technology gives us to take amazing aerial video from a different perspective. So guys, I hope this gives you a broader view and better view of what spying with a drone actually means, and how actually capable a top-of-the-line consumer drone actually is. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys later.